Hi, this is Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Today we're going to take a look at this residential patio. We essentially have two different sections. We have this rear patio, I'll call it, and then we have a front patio over here that we will be dealing with. And the customer provided me with a floor plan and also an elevation for the back, well, for the front too, but I don't have the front on here. You can see those elevations, so I'll turn that off right now. And let's go ahead and work on the front section first. And let's see what we have as far as dimensions are concerned. Here we have about 8'3" to the bottom edge of the ceiling here, and about 10'3", 10'2.5", well, yeah, 10'3" here to the outside edge of the post. And then 14 from edge of post to edge of post, 14.6 rather. And so you might have seen here I have a couple of openings for a flush mount kit. So flush mount kit, you'll get the dimensions in the CAD drawing, but the dimensions will allow for the flush mount kit and the heater to be installed inside, and then you can either finish it up around with stucco, or you can have the flange exposed. The flange is about 4 inches on all 4 sides, and the minimum height is 8 inches here. So I've chosen on this particular application a WD-4024. So these are dual element units, and I've stuck the units in such a manner so that the clearance, this is the yellow orb clearance, it doesn't interfere with the door when it's in the open position in any way. And also I'm not sure if there's a drop down up here, but we need to make sure we have 18 inches from this edge of the heater. Let's make sure I get that in the image here, sorry. So this edge of the heater to the outside edge needs to be 18 inches to any combustible, and then 36 inches all the way down. Again, I'm not sure if I got that. So this is from here to here is 18 inches. I think I have it a little bit further from this door, so probably like a 4-inch leeway here. So let's look at the ray. Turn that off. And so the ray of the heater, you can see we have a very good coverage of this space up front. And I have it in this configure, or this orientation rather, because I know the joists are going in this direction, I believe. I could be wrong. So if that's an issue that we have to address, then we may have to change these 90 degrees. In any case, you can see we're not hitting this back edge here. It's not that I'm worried about the doors at this point here. It's just that our clearance above is critical. So we want to make sure, again, we meet that clearance up here. And so that's the front. Let's go ahead and check out the back here. So the back area, I've chosen, we'll go ahead and look at the heights real quick, our dimensions. So we have to this wall here, and to this edge of the wall here, we have 9.7, 9.8. And then the height, I have a total of 10.6, 10.6.5. And then the different sections here, I sectioned off this this section here because the wall comes out a little bit further, so that's 15.2 and 9/16, and then up to approximate location of the staircase there, 25.6. So now, depending on what the use is going to be, I'm not quite sure what that actual use is, but I have a table, dining table here, and then a seating area over here. And by the way, this 10.6 is up to the bottom edge of the beams up here. Let me just turn that off for a moment. So you can see the heaters I have here. I have placed them between each one of these beams. And I wanted to mention that the usage, I'm not quite sure what the use is actually going to be, so you could maybe eliminate, you know, a heater over here. This is an entry exit point, obviously. and maybe it'd be hard to eliminate one of these here because your table is not going to get covered properly. But let's go ahead and look at the I have them right now dangling in midair, and you'd have to take a bar or something to attach it to the top of this, or customize a bracket. But you might see this little yellow globe here, and that indicates the clearance around the heater on the top. You can see with the distance I have from these beams, and I'm just going again off of the this elevation that I had. So these beams match up with the locations of the beams here, and that's roughly, but 6 inches here, 6 inches on that side, and of course 6 inches all the way around from this side to this side. And of course the other clearance that we have to deal with is the clearance below, and you can see here I have this yellow globe which would represent the clearance that you need. And that clearance here, I'm really basing it off of these doors here, because I know these doors open out. The one here goes inward, so we're good with that. And that's why I have these heaters offset, so they're pushed out a little bit to the left side over here than to the right. So essentially I believe it's centered in this location, or this space here. So if I drew a line from here to here, I would have a center point, I believe, and that would be the center of the heater. So now turning on the ray, we can see that we have, let me turn this off here. We have a really good coverage throughout this whole entire space. So again, if you wanted to, you could eliminate one heater if that's an area that wouldn't be occupied. And again, you'd have to come up with some kind of bracketry to mount to these beams here. So a bar coming across here and here. And this customer also was contemplating whether to have this as a solid ceiling. If you were to cover this space, let's say with a roof top, provided that it's not sloped, we need to make sure that our heaters are level. But if you were to put a rooftop on top of this, leaving the heaters the way they are within this type of application and the spacing that we have between each beam, you still meet the clearances to combustible. So you wouldn't have to buy a separate flush mount kit for this. It could just kind of rest in these cavities, let's call it, or between the beams, and that would be just fine. So I think that's all we need. These are, these are actually these are CD 6024, so these are 6,000 watt 240 volt. That's 25 amps per heater. That's a lot of power, especially for a residence, so it's something that you really need to have planned out. And I'm going to put this one back on. So if you had 5, obviously that's 125 amps for the back. And I would definitely recommend controlling these heaters. I did place a sample of a 4,000 watt unit. So this is a 4,000 watt unit. Let me turn off this one here. Whoops. Yeah, so the 4,000 watt unit, you can see this little bit darker orange area here. This is the coverage area for the 4,000 watt unit at this height. And you can see that I'm not really covering down low enough to make it really comfortable for the normal seating height at this elevation. And that's why I chose the 6,000 watt unit. Now a 6,000 watt unit, you would definitely want to consider having a control system. You could put duplex switches on each heater and turn one bulb on, one bulb off. But I don't think a 3,000 watt would be sufficient in most cases. So you really want a control system where you can dim it from 1% on to 100% on. So in any case, let's see, there's one other piece of information you'd probably want is what is the distance between each heater. So I have them placed out here at roughly 7 foot 9 inches, and again that's based off of the distance between each one of these beams going across. In any case, that's what I have for you on this project. If you have any questions or if you need some assistance with your application, don't hesitate to send us an email at support@patioheat.com. The more information we have, the better we can help you in making that choice here in this particular application without knowing that these doors open up, for instance, would not give you the proper information with regards to, you know, placing a heater so that we're meeting the clearances. So in any case, thank you very much. Have a great day, and give us a thumbs up if this has helped you. It really helps us know that you are listening and are interested in what we're doing, and we'll continue on with that. Thank you.